Not the kind of day you wanted, but what can your team learn from a game like this, just knowing you're probably playing the best team in the conference right now?
Yeah, I mean, we came out, they scored first drive, we had to bounce back from that, and then second play, something like that happens. How we bounce back from stuff like that is going to dictate how our season will go. I think we did a good job on the sideline. Everyone was locked in, wanting to keep going. And just some things that we have to fix in practice, just little miscues that set us back from it being 2nd and 5 to all of a sudden it's 2nd and 10. And then you can't run the ball effectively in those situations because you're set back so far. And so just stuff like that we got to fix.
What were they doing to limit what had been a really good rushing offense for you guys thus far?
I mean, there's some things, the edges were playing a little bit differently than Louisiana Tech, Northern Illinois had been playing. Took away, maybe some of the zone read stuff. But at the end of the day, like I said, like if it's 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10, like you can't run the ball. So just little miscues, snaps. I have to catch the snap. That's between Ben and I. Like if we have to rep that 1,000 times this week, then that's what we'll do. But we can't put the ball on the ground like that. That's a wasted play. And we know how powerful an offense we are when we can run the ball in, 3rd and manageable, 2nd and 5 or less. So.
We've added or ticked a few passes. Was there anything from your angle you could do different, or especially that second play, I guess, of the game?
Yeah, that's something that I'm going to work on this week. That's something that, like having Jeff and some of those guys on the sidelines that see that, and like, hey, maybe your arm angle was dropping a little bit on that one. You got to keep it up. And then also just that's with experience. Some of the last 2 games, there's been no hands in the air. Michigan, obviously, that's a really experienced D-line, really good D-line, and they're athletic. So credit to them for all those plays. But at the end of the day, I got to get the ball through somehow, whether that's stepping up, stepping sideways, but finding a passing lane.
I know you've been running the option for the last couple of weeks.
I mean, in high school, you were out of shotgun throwing spread football all the time. So how comfortable did you actually feel maybe in the second quarter, in the second half, being able to be in the shotgun and just kind of throw it around?
Yeah, it was. I think that's somewhere where I do have a little bit of comfort. But at the end of the day, like we need to be able to do both things. We need to be able to run the option. We need to be able to step back and make some of those plays downfield to keep them honest from bringing 8 guys in the box. So I think a good mixture of both is the key to that.
You had, of course, seen them on film and seen Big Ten teams up close from the sideline. What did their athleticism, their speed, especially up front on defense, how did that look different from your vantage point on the field today than what you had previously experienced?
Yeah, I think, honestly, today the pocket was one of the cleanest that we've had in the last 3 games. There's times back there where I was just sitting there and I was kind of getting a little anxious. That's on me. I got to trust my offensive line, trust that those guys are going to block because they are blocking. They gave me a lot of pocket today. And then also, trusting the fact that defenses they don't want to let me out of the pocket because, I've shown that I'm a threat on the edge. So just finding a good little window in there to settle up and find open receivers downfield.
Coach Rule said that he really challenged the team in that post-game locker room. What's your reaction to that as it relates to kind of moving forward and learning from this one?
Yeah, it's different. Obviously this is my first loss as a starting quarterback. I think moving forward, we've been on a high the last 2 weeks. I don't know if we've had it demoralizing as a loss as this one. But I think if we can learn from this, watch the tape, and I think really there's just little miscues along the way for the offense. We can't put the defense in those situations, going 3 and out. I think, someone said that we went 3 and out, 3 times in the first half or something, or somewhere around there. And we can't do that to them. They are a great defense. They've shown that. And I believe in those guys. but we have to put them in better situations as well.
On the 4th and 1 play, you like that call, and how do you think it went from your perspective?
That's on me. I can't do that. I have to put my head down, get 6 inches. Like that, that's one play. If I could have back any play in this game, that's the one I'd want back. Just because I feel like, I let my team down, let my offensive line. They blocked really well on that play. And I don't know. I wish I could have that one back.
Did you just think that you saw something over the top more than down low as you were coming up to the line, or what went through your?
I was just trying to get 6 inches, and that, I think if I would have just done what I've been doing for the last 3 weeks and just known that I'm a big, strong, fast quarterback who can get 6 inches by putting my head down. If I would have just done that, that would have been a conversion. So yeah, that one. I told the O-line, I told Anthony, that one, I have to execute that play.
Take one more.
Heinrich, there was one other specific time I wanted to look at. Third quarter, it was when they had the illegal shift, but it was an incomplete pass. You roll right, it looks like maybe the play was to go to the left. You come over to the sideline, and Coach Rule speaks with you for quite a while, and he's been talking about trying to get you to that level to where everybody's comfortable. Can you share anything about what he's telling you in that moment?
Yeah, I don't want to go into full detail about what Coach Rule talks about with me sometimes, but really what he's been trying to tell me for the last week is, these last 2 games, you've come out, you've had, I had 2 pretty decent games and led the guys pretty well. Don't start, trying to do too much. You need to go out there, have fun, execute the play, and so really, that's. He just shared some past experiences with other quarterbacks that he's had at Baylor and Temple, and he's had some good ones. So learning some stuff from him is always great.
Do you feel like this is your offense, your team, after the overall experience, the way these last 3 games have gone?
I think this is our offense as an offense. Like this, it's a collective unit. It's the O-line's offense, it's my offense, it's whoever's in the game's offense. That's how we have to move as a pack. Obviously there's going to be guys out in front, and it might change week to week, but as the quarterback, if I'm starting that week, then I'm going to take command, I'm going to take charge, I'm going to try and push my teammates along.